can keep this handy for everybody. Hey everybody, it's Patti Sampson. Thank you for joining us today for this absolutely incredible training. And what's really going to be more of a discussion. I think, we have a chat, you'll learn, right? Because we just love talking about this stuff. I want to introduce I'm so excited Karin's here today. Karin Carr, our special guest. Many of you have already met or seen or been in her groups or got her training or whatever, but Karin is a video guru on lead gen and well, I guess I'm gonna say lead gen for real estate, and she's also a real estate agent. So I'm not gonna sit here and tell her whole story because I want her to tell us how she got here. Hey Karin, how are you today?
Hi Patti, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here live with you.
I'm so thrilled. So we're on two different coasts. We've spread out across the country. I'm in Scottsdale, not quite on the coast, and you are over in
Savannah, Georgia.
Savannah, Georgia. Is that where you? Well, we just found out that we both went to school in the same county in Michigan.
I know, how funny.
Way back in the 80s. We won't tell everybody how old we are, but
it was like 10 years ago. Don't you remember?
Yeah. Problem is I don't remember yesterday. Karin, so how long have you actually had your real estate license? And before you got your license, what did you do? Because I know most of us, we don't get into real estate. We didn't roll out of the womb or roll out of college and go to real estate school. Most of us.
Nope.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, one time I wanted to be an opera singer. I majored in music at the University of Utah. I really wanted to be a full-time singer until I realized A, I'm really not good enough to make a living doing that, and B, they travel like 300 days a year. So when I got married and we wanted to start a family, it's like you can't be gone 27 days a month. So I decided I would just do that for fun, and I sang with the opera chorus and it was fun. Then we moved to Northern California. My husband got a job transfer. We were like right outside of Napa, and said, we will never buy a house here on a single income. So I need to go back to work. And at the time I had a 2-month-old baby, and I thought, I'm going to get my real estate license because I can work an hour a day and make 6 figures, right? Because that's what we all think.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
That was 2005.
Oh, right about when I did. Yeah, I started, 2004. Yep.
Okay.
So that's interesting. So you got your license up in Northern California, right?
Yep.
And then, so did you actually practice real estate up there for any amount of time?
Oh yeah. So the first year was awful. I think I sold 3 houses, and one of them was our house that we bought, and I represented us when we bought the house. The second year was even worse because now the market had crashed and everyone was afraid to buy because the prices were going down. Everyone was afraid to sell because they didn't know what was going to happen. And I started doing BPOs just as a way to have money coming in. And then in 2007, after 6 months of doing BPOs, I got an email that said, hey, we just foreclosed on this house. Here's your first listing. And the next year I sold 75 houses all by myself with no team. And they were all bank foreclosures. So it was kind of like going from a total newbie who knew nothing to running around like a chicken with my head cut off 10 hours a day. Like I didn't have a team. God bless my husband. I would be like, will you go change the locks for me at these 3 houses and put up a sign in the front yard? Because I was like drinking from a fire hose. It was insane. And then for the next 6 or 7 years, all I did was REO. My mom and dad had since retired and moved to Savannah. And after our second child was born, we said, you know what, we should move back east and be closer to the family because we never see them. And it's so far. I mean, literally from California to Georgia, it's really expensive for the airfare. Let's just move back east.
Oh.
And when I got back here, I really thought all I had to do was tell the banks, hey, I've changed all my zip codes. Now I live here instead. But by then the REO boom was over. And so I said, okay, so how do I get business? Because I have not had to prospect in the last 10 years. And I tried door knocking, hated it, tried cold calling, hated it even more, tried sending postcards. It was expensive and I got nowhere. And I started panicking like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I don't know how to prospect. I've been in real estate for 11 years and I don't know how to prospect. And I'm going to have to go back to corporate America if I can't figure this out. So I started blogging and making YouTube videos, and everything changed. And then we moved again. Then we moved again.
It's interesting about the YouTube video thing though, because you started blogging. And so where were you blogging at? Were you on a certain, like a blogging site, or just putting
Just
it on
my website?
On your own website, right?
Yep, on my own website. So we had moved to South Carolina, right outside of Savannah, and a year later my husband got transferred to Atlanta. So when I got to Atlanta, that's when I started blogging. It was just on my own website. Like, you go to my website and there's a page for buyers and a page for sellers and a blog. And I would write these really great, long, elaborate blog posts because I was starting to learn about SEO and how to get those to rank on Google. And it was funny, I read a report that said if you embed a YouTube video in your blog post, it is something like 48 times more likely to show up on the first page of search results because you have a YouTube video embedded in the blog post. So I was like, oh my God, okay, that's awesome. Like, I could make a YouTube video.
Right.
So how hard can it be, right? Because I didn't know what I didn't know. And I just turned on my phone and I recorded a selfie video that was nothing fancy at all, simply so I could upload it to YouTube and then embed it in the blog post.
Right.
And then we moved again.
So I was going to say, how was it that people found your blog post? Because I from training agents all over the place and their websites, I'm always encouraging people to get a website for stuff just like that. And it's always about what you just did was putting gas in the tank of that website too, because it was helping to promote your pages and things that you do, you know. And so you were talking. So you started with putting video in a blog. So what kind of things did you talk about? I mean, you just started with a phone. That's fine. And what were you talking about? The local area?
Local area. So like, if you're moving to Atlanta, these are things that you would like to know. Do you want to live inside the perimeter? Do you want to live outside the perimeter? Where are some good subdivisions if you want to have a commute of half an hour to this local, business? I was doing things like, what's the difference between the appraisal and the home inspection? Because every first-time buyer asks that question, right? And I just was making a list of, what are the questions I get asked all the time? I should make a video about that and answer the question. But the key to it was doing keyword research first. So I would go use a keyword research tool, and there are a million of them out there. I really like Keywords Everywhere because it's free.
Keywords Everywhere. Let's make it for everybody. Hope you guys
Keywords Everywhere.
I'm writing it down. Keywords Everywhere. So basically, explain exactly what keywords are, if you could.
It lets you go to Google and do a search. So difference between home inspection and appraisal. And right below the Google search bar, it will say there are 250 searches a month being done for that exact phrase. And the competition is this on a scale of 1 to 100, 100 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. So it tells you how many people are looking for that exact phrase and how competitive it would be to rank for. So I'm looking for something that gets a lot of searches. And, for a hyper local business like us, 150 searches a month is great. It does not have to be 50,000 searches a month.
Okay.
As long as it doesn't have a ton of competition. Because if the competition is high, you're not going to rank on the first page of search results. It has to have pretty low competition.
Give an example of one that you would have said, aha, that's one, I'm going to use that one.
Well, I had this idea of, let's see, what was it? It was appraisal versus home inspection or something like that was what I was going to make the title.
Right.
But it got 0 searches a month. So then I was just, okay, well, what about home inspection or appraisal or difference between? And I kept changing the search phrase until I found the one that said, aha, this one gets a lot of searches. And I'm looking for something that has fairly low competition so that I will be able to rank for it. And then I would say, okay, that's my keyword. Now go make the video and say the keyword in the video, put that in the title, put it in the tags, put it in the description, the whole 9 yards.
Great. Awesome. Well, all right. So then you went from having done that and you're posting now I guess that's my next question. You're posting whatever it is you're doing. You're just sitting there talking on your phone, or are you out and about doing video outside, or what?
Sometimes, but most of the time it was just in my home office.
Okay. Like we're doing now.
Like we're doing right now.
Talk to the screen. Okay.
Yep.
So the people that, because I know from talking to a lot of people, and just people hate being on video. They just hate it. You know, we have to get over our bad selves, really, because, you know, I mean, we're never going to be happy with ourselves. That's just how it is. But there are certain people out there that are just really fabulous at this. And when I hear that you were a singer, I am too. We don't mind doing this. We're performers is what we do. So it actually gets that part of our system satisfied, but it's not for everybody. So what kind of thing could somebody do if they didn't want their face, or at least not, you know, them on video? Do you have any suggestions there?
Well, I think that those cartoon explainer videos do absolutely nothing for you. Do not buy them. Do not go buy those companies that say, we'll make you this little animated video. No one will ever connect with you as their potential agent because you are nowhere in that video. At least have your voice.
Or a picture of yourself that you like.
Yeah. So for instance, one of the videos that, and if you want me to share my screen, I can show it.
I would love to. Why don't we do that? I'll go ahead and click share.
Okay, cool.
Actually, go ahead. No, actually, you can go ahead. You should have access to it.
So I say share, and I say share my desktop, go. Okay, cool. So here is my channel. And so, I mean, God, I've got 3,200 subscribers now, which is insane. And I know darn well that the majority of them are real estate agents. So don't get all excited thinking these are all buyers and sellers. But that's okay, because the more people that view my videos, the more it shows up in the Google search results and in the YouTube search results. And the more exposure I get. So I don't really care. What am I looking for? I can't talk and do this at the same time.
Yeah, I know. It's like driving and
most popular. Okay, so here's a video I did where I am not on camera anywhere. It is a neighborhood tour, and I'm going to turn the sound off. Oops, got to let the video play, or the ad play first. But you'll see that in the description it says Bridge Mill was the name of this neighborhood. Bridge Mill homes for sale. That's the keyword. I did my keyword research, and I said, how many searches does Bridge Mill homes for sale get? And then I put in here the median home price is, the least expensive home is this, the most expensive home is this. If you want to see more about it, click here and go to my website. But all I did, I'm narrating on this video, I got one of those dashboard, you know, the suction cup thing that holds your phone, and I put that on my dashboard. It's totally shaky, and I even say it in my video, like, I'm really sorry that the dash cam is so shaky, but it was either that or drive with my arm out the window, and I figured this was safer.
Right.
And then I say, so here we are at Bridge Mill. You can see that right outside the neighborhood is the grocery store and the dry cleaners and the fast food places and the gas station. As we come through here, there's, you know, the golf course is on the right. Look at this great golf course. And I go through and I show them the pool and the playground. We drive around, we look at houses and say, the typical house is 4,000 square feet. The typical, it's 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, and it has a basement and a 3-car garage, and the median sales price is, and this is how long they take to sell. And it's just a neighborhood tour. My face is nowhere in there. I think when you go to the very end, I did an end screen. God, look how dark my hair used to be. Like,
tell me about it.
This was many hairstyles ago.
This is hiding gray.
But here's the thing. And so I made that a couple of years ago. That was in 2016. 6,000 organic views. I have never run an ad to this video. I've never done anything to promote it. That is totally because when you go up here and you type in Bridge Mill homes for sale, it says 590 searches a month, and the competition is now 0.5, so it's in the middle. But at the time when I did it, I think it was more like 0.35 or something. And so I show up at the very first result in YouTube, and I wonder, I haven't looked in a long time, but if I went to, let me do an incognito window on
Right, because if you run searches, just for people to know that you do this so that you can check to see what other people see, because when you are doing this stuff, you will show up quite often at the top because it's you in your own
Right, because
account.
It's your cookies and all that kind of stuff, right? So let's see, Realtor.com, Zillow, Redfin, Homes.com. Maybe this was a poor example, but there are a lot of other videos that I've made where I show up on the home page of Google or the first page of search results. because it's doing so well in YouTube and Google owns YouTube, they will push the video out to the first page of their search results.
Right. Well, we're not slapping your hand because you got where you're at, but you're probably on the second page at the top. But
probably.
Let's go back in really quick and look at the content. So here's the struggle I have sometimes when I'm doing videos. Like, people don't scroll down and look in the body of that video. Let's go into any one of your videos. And
okay.
They actually look at the content that you typed up. How often does that happen? Because my next question to you is, how are you collecting names off of your video? And when somebody, is there a call to action in the video? Or
absolutely. Absolutely. So the biggest mistake I see people doing on YouTube is that they have their name and their email and their phone number and their logo splashed across the bottom of the screen the entire way through the video. Please stop doing that. That screams salesperson, and nothing will make the person put up a wall faster than feeling like you're trying to sell them something that they don't need.
Right.
So instead, just be helpful and conversational. And yes, you will put all of your information down below, and at the very, very end, you can put your company logo or whatever. I do mine right at the beginning. So like, hey everyone, I'm Karin Carr. I'm a realtor in Savannah, Georgia with Keller Williams. The logo flashes and then it goes away. So it's not there the whole time. It's just right at the very beginning so that I can introduce myself and be in compliance with my state because I don't want to get in trouble, right? But then at the end of the video, I might say, so now this video is about moving to Savannah, where I said, here's what the average temperatures look like. And all I did was go to like weather.com and take a screenshot of what or Farmer's Almanac or something of what the weather is like. And then there's me talking, and then I show something else. It's really, so here was the cost of living. Right. How much cheaper is it to live here than it is in Boston? Well, I went to this website and I tell them what the website is, and this is what I put in, and it says that you only have to make half as much in Savannah as you do in Boston to have the same quality of living. Right. So I do my whole video. Then for the call to action at the end, I might say something like, so now you know everything you need to know about moving to Savannah. If you're thinking of moving here, I have a free relocation guide. Click this link right here. Go to my website and download the relocation guide. And of course, when they go download it, it says, put in your name, your email address, and your phone number.
Right, right. I love it.
I say it in the video, I link to it in the video, and then I put it down here too. And then also I wrote a full blog post called Moving to Savannah. I linked to the full-on blog post.
To your site now. How fabulous is that?
Yes.
So that is incredible. So, all right, a couple things were coming to mind, and I was like, don't forget to ask her. Okay, so do you not use a landing page in here when people can sign up on, or are you sending them to your site and hoping they register over there?
It depends, back and forth. So for this one, I just sent them right to the blog post.
Okay.
If they want to go read the blog post, because some people want, like that was a 5-minute video. How much information can you give? But they come to my blog post and it's something like 3,000 words, and it's got maps and all that kind of stuff. And then if they want this free relocation guide right there and they click on that, that's a landing page. You got to put in your information in order to get that.
Got it. Great.
And then of course I embedded the video in the blog post, right? And then I link to, like all kinds of other stuff. I think I do it way at the bottom where it's like, if you want to look at houses for sale in this town or this town or this town, you click the link and it will show you the IDX search results page for all of the homes in that particular area. And I can't even tell you how many leads I get a month from this particular Moving to Savannah blog post.
Well, and I'm noticing because you did put all those links in there, and basically what you did you go to your website and actually create pages specific to each of those, or was it just you ran a search on your site and grabbed the link as a consumer? I mean, what exactly did you do on your website on these links? Did you do something special on your site then for these links?
Well, if I was saying, if you want to see Tybee Island homes for sale, I just took the community page that was already created on my website of Tybee Homes, and I put that in there. This one that says the Beach Bum Parade, it goes off of my website. It goes to the TybeeIsland.com website and links to their events page. So some of them are links on my site and some of them are links off of my site. And this uses the Yoast plugin because it's built on WordPress, and so it basically tells you how well your your blog post is going to rank on Google, and it'll say you need to add your keyword in 5 more times, and you need to add a video, and you need to add a couple more links. And when you get it to like the SEO score is 99% or 100%, I hit publish.
Right. And so I know people are probably looking at this going, holy crap, look at that blog post. I don't know how long it took her to do it. I don't know, blah, blah, blah.
It took me a long time.
But here's what I'm going to say about what you did is that when we are out, many of us are out buying leads and then, you know, not doing follow-up, which we're going to get to in a minute, but buying leads and then not and spending all this time and money, you know, trying to convert these leads from strange things. And now you've got this niche that you have. And so I think the niche-y part about the most important thing is that you've niched it out. And the time that you put into doing this on your site, I mean, this literally hasn't cost you anything, right, Karin? I mean,
Correct.
Other than time.
Right.
But, I mean, what's wrong with that?
Right, exactly. So it took me about a week to make this. Like I would write for maybe half an hour or an hour, and then I would go over to Canva and make this little infographic.
Right.
And you know, I got the whole thing written up, and then I had to put in all the hyperlinks. So I'm not going to lie, this is probably 10 hours worth of work. However, I've probably made $75,000 or more from this blog post because people Google it, it shows up. This one I could show you. If I did an incognito mode, this shows up at the top of the organic search results.
Right.
So this is now 2 years old. I wrote this 2 years ago.
Right.
So it's still showing up at the top of the search results.
And you can always come in here and update it and things like that if you need to, right?
Yes.
And so, all right, so this is, okay, let me ask you about your website. Is this a company Keller Williams website or your own website?
No, this is a company called Easy Agent Pro.
Thank you very much. Okay, so what do we know about this is that people, please, you know, Karin put 10 hours into this. Everything she invested in this is hers. She can take it from broker to broker. Not that you're going to leave KW. If you love it, great. But in the event this happens to you, this is where you start going and dumping money into some company's brokerage website. Oh my God. And then you leave there. Guess what happens? It all goes with you. So this is something I always harp because I walked away from about 5,000 leads in 2010 and I had to start from scratch. And it was from a company that provided me stuff. And I had nothing in 2010 after I did that, you know, and it was, you know, it was a good run while I was there, except I gave them 65% everything I did. Don't be that person, you know. So I've got incredible website recommendations. Easy Agent Pro is one of them. For those of you who know, I've been signed up now with KV Core and Ylopo, and I've got discounts for you. So definitely reach out because this is on her site. It might, and is this WordPress based? I don't have
yes, it is.
Site. So it's WordPress based, which is fine. But most of us have the ability to have our own sites and be able to build pages. And basically it's all it is a page that you are doing all this on, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. All right, so cool. Now we've gotten video to lead capture, right?
Yeah.
Now we're at lead capture. So you've had, I mean, I'm going to provide a list of a bunch of different ideas myself on video options. So I'm looking at your page, a couple things. All of these little thumbnails that you have, those were done on Canva, or is that right? So you recommend that you do this. So we're not going to go through how to do that, but I'm sure we're going to give everybody an idea on how to go to learn this stuff, but including the blog post writing, I'm sure, right? So, but this is important because when I come to your page, like one that's catching my eye right away is the second row down, second from the right. I love the face. I've actually
this one.
Both of those. I mean, so you did you have somebody take pictures? What did you do?
Yeah. So this is my home office, and all I did was on recording day when I was finished with the video, I turned the camera from video to photo and I put the timer on and I would hit the record button and I'd go,
yeah.
And I took like 50 pictures of myself. And I got a whole bunch of goofy looking pictures where I'm pointing this way. Then I got wise and said, oh, I should remove the background. And then I can do whatever background I want behind me. So If you're doing a question or a video where you ask a question, maybe your pose is, because, you know, I don't know,
right.
you know, or this one with the thumbs up, like, hey, cost of living here is really cheap. Or, you know, one where you're pointing over your shoulder and you just have, let's say 10 or 15 of these pictures. You can remove the background. You can upload them all into Canva or PicMonkey or Adobe Photoshop or whatever you're going to use for your graphic design program. And then they're all there. And then I've changed my thumbnail design a bazillion times. Let me start with newest to oldest so you can see the progression. Like this is what I'm trying out now to see how that does. This was the one that I've been doing for the last couple of months. I had tried out this, you know, chartreuse color and I didn't really like that. Prior to that, I was doing the turquoise color. And then prior to that, I was doing this where it didn't have a background color. That's just the wall. That's the wall behind me.
Yeah.
But I was always saying, okay, you've got to have very little text on the thumbnail because people are watching this on their phone and it's this big. Yeah. So you can't have a ton of text or they're not going to be able to read what it says. Just have 3, 4, 5 words. Make it very, very legible. This is not really all that legible because of the scrolly font. This is very, very legible. You want a nice, clean font, easy to read. Have your picture on it because we're going to be branding this channel as you. So put your face on the thumbnail and just make it eye-catching. If you would not click on it, no one else is going to click on it either.
Correct. Right. And so, okay, now you've talked about editing images. Now let's talk about editing video. What are you doing there to make, like, I hate to say it, but video editing for dummies, because and not that we're dummies, but, you know, like I keep telling everybody, I'm pushing 60 years old. My brain is fried, but
I hear you.
I still do this stuff, man, because, I mean, actually it's kind of fun, but I need to make it the easiest way possible. So give us some ideas on what you're doing.
I feel the same way. So I have a Mac and it comes with iMovie. iMovie is free. When I first started using iMovie, I had no idea what to do. So I went to YouTube and I typed in iMovie for beginners. And I watched a bunch of tutorials just to learn the very basics. And in my videos, I really don't do a lot of fancy editing. I literally, let's say, are you thinking about moving to Savannah? Well, that's what we're going to talk about. And I tripped over my words. Okay, let's start over again.
Yeah.
Are you thinking about moving to Savannah? Well, that's what we're talking about today. And then you pause. So now when you go to edit it, you literally just split the clip right before you started speaking, and you split the clip right after you stop. And you take the part that you don't want and you just hit the delete button.
Cut.
Literally, all you're doing is taking out mistakes, dead air. Like don't try to film it all in one take just because you're afraid to edit. I can edit a video in about 20 minutes. What the heck? Okay, this is
somebody calling in off here.
Problem with having a Mac. If your phone rings, it rings on your computer and your iPad and your laptop all at the same time.
Yeah, well, let me, for those of us that don't have Macs, my suggestion is I actually have a software tool that I use called Screencast-O-Matic. And it's actually pretty easy. I do pay for it. You can get a free version, but you're limited on how long your videos can be. And because I do a lot of training videos, I needed to pay. But you may not. But try that. They've got a pretty cool software editing in there if you don't have anything on your computer to use. And then you can just save it right on your computer and then you upload it, right? So that's what you're doing, is uploading everything to your channels, right? Everything.
Yes.
Okay, so that is really, I mean, I'm overly impressed with your page, and honestly, I don't think I ever actually came to your page. I've seen a bunch of your videos. I never actually went to your actual YouTube channel, so this is fun to look at. And I like all the colors. I mean, I think it's fine, and I think you should change them up every now and then.
Yeah, if you're making thumbnails and you're not getting, I was just coaching somebody this morning. I said, let's go in and look at your analytics. So for example, if you go to, I don't know, this video right here, and you go into the back end under, or I could have just clicked right on analytics, I guess, but I went to the edit tab. And now you're in the back end of YouTube and you go to your analytics. It's going to show you so much data where it's like, okay, here's the average audience retention. This is pretty good because people, a few of them will leave right after they watch the very first few seconds, but most of them stay, and then it gradually tapers off at the end. That's what you want. You don't want it to go like
right off the bat.
Right. they started watching it and they didn't like it and they all left. So why not? Why don't they like your video? Are you boring? Is it too long? Are you like, hi, I am Karin Carr. I am a realtor in Savannah, Georgia, where you look like a deer in the headlights and it's very obvious that you're reading, and that makes the viewer uncomfortable. So that's kind of what you want to see for audience retention. Then you can go down and look at this little thingy where it tells you your click-through rate. You want it to be between 5 and 10%, if at all possible. If your click-through rate is only 2%, that means that when people see this thumbnail, they're not clicking on it. Okay, why are they not clicking on it? Either it's not appealing, or it's hard to read, or the colors are gross, or it's just not eye-catching. So if you've got a bad click-through rate, the first thing you should do is go fix your thumbnail, because maybe it's just the thumbnail is why they're not clicking. And if they did click, they would watch the video and say, oh, I love this. This is the greatest thing ever. And then they would call you.
Right. Okay. All right. So that's really key. I'm really glad you showed that. And I by knowing that, then you know whether or not you're on the right track. And you know, how long do you think it takes I mean, how much time should you let it run before you go and check these analytics?
Well, it depends on how many views. Like if this is a brand new channel and nobody really knows about you yet, you're probably going to have to let it run until you've had at least 50 views in order for it to start gathering enough data. Once your channel takes off and you're getting lots of views, it's probably just a couple of days. But at the beginning, it might take you a month. It might take you 2 months and to have enough views to really be able to look at the data. Right.
Okay. Good to know. All right. So now, if you guys have any questions, by the way, put them in the thing down there, because we're going to leave some time for that. My goal was to have this done in 45 minutes, but I want to talk a little. I mean, we're good till at least like half an hour. What time is it right now? Are you good?
1:35 my time.
We're at minimum 125 minutes, because I want to hit home now the importance of, or the use of video within our follow-up campaign. So let's take the life cycle of this lead. You have written a blog. Well, first you created the video, and then you wrote the blog, or it was the other way around, one of the two. And then you've gotten them to your page. The people they clicked on something within your video, or you gave them directions how to get somewhere. They ended up somewhere and they signed up for something. Now, the options for sign up can be something like you did, as far as the relocation guide, just as an example. Many people have gone through my course and or have gotten my guides that I have, so you can take a guide and make it specific to that niche. And I think the big key here, Karin, is that you're focusing on your niche. All the things that you really want to sell. Like, I live in Phoenix. It's the 5th largest city in the country. I live in the Phoenix metro area. The last thing I want to do is drive an hour and a half to the other end of town. I mean,
Amen.
I ain't doing it no more, you know? So what we want to make sure is that whatever you're going to focus on is not going to be what you think the general population wants, because you're going to get way better, probably more engaged leads with this that search you mentioned, is being able to run that keyword thing to get the people interested in what you're interested in selling and what you have knowledge about, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so they've signed up to get, let's just say, a list of, let's see, I mean, see what you got on here. Living in the burbs. Let's see, the burbs in Savannah. Okay, so let's say whatever suburb in Savannah is that you're marketing to, and now you are like, here's what I'm going to say. Before this whole entire process gets started, realistically, you're expecting to get leads, right?
Yeah.
So the biggest mistake we have is that we haven't gone in and built our drip campaign to deal with the long-term follow-up that's going to take, right? Because we don't know how long these consumers are going to need before they go to buy. Plus, we want to stay in front of them. And we want to stay in front of them with something that's specific to what they signed up to get. So if they get to your Savannah Burbs video, and now they want a list, because I'm sure you've provided them a list to a number of different suburban areas in Savannah that they are going to sign up and get. Now, you want to dump those leads into your CRM tool, right? So what CRM tool are you using?
I am using LionDesk. And so
how did that happen?
How did that happen? I know. So yes, I've been using LionDesk for almost the same length of time that I've had my website. So it's probably 2.5 going on 3 years. And when I create the land, so like the life cycle is make the video, transcribe the video into text, copy the text, post it into a new blog post, because it's the exact transcription of the video. That will save you a ton of time. Just transcribe it, copy and paste, embed the video in there. Now you got a blog post. You got to make the freebie that's going to go along with it. So what did you offer in the video that would be of value for them, that they would be willing to give you their contact information for? If I can help anyone, buy or sell, call me, is not a call to action.
Oh, thank you. Oh my God. Thank you, my friend.
Yes.
Thank you.
But to say, you know, so you're thinking about, I don't know, buying your first house with a VA loan. Do you know what the VA guidelines are? Click here and get my free VA buyer's guide. So it's a Word document. It's nothing outrageous. You made it, you put your logo on it, you put all your contact information on it, you printed it as a PDF, you upload it to your website, and you password protect it.
As a side note, you guys, I did a training on that, and it's in this group. Just go to the minutes on how to create there was a whole thing about lead magnets, and that's
like a freebie that is compelling enough that somebody will give you their info, and if they're serious about it, they give you real contact information. Rarely do I get fake phone numbers, because they're ready to move and they wanted the information, so they're willing to give it up. And then you have it set up so that when they fill out that form, it goes directly into your CRM. You get an automatic response with the thing attached, so that you don't have to pull over and send it to them because you were driving 75 miles an hour on the freeway. Like all of this stuff.
Not that we haven't done that.
Oh, right. I've done that a million times until I said, this is stupid. Why am I not automating this?
Right.
And you get that stuff all set up in advance. So yes, it takes time. Yes, it's a pain in the butt, but you do it one time.
Right.
And then it pays you back for the next 5 years.
Right. And it has to be set up so that you're ready. So as soon as you get all this stuff started, I usually encourage people to do that first, because your whole idea is, when you start doing any kind of lead gen, whether you're paying for it or doing what Karen's doing, is getting that thing set up. I was actually going to share my screen. So
good. I just stopped mine.
Yeah. So that we can really focus on the follow-up part of this, because the money is in the follow-up. We don't always know when people come online today what they're going to, what their time frame is, or who they are, and all of that stuff. And we don't assume a lead sucks just because they didn't get back to us right away. Right, Karen? I mean, I have 3 rules on when a lead is dead. For those of you who have never seen me say this, first reason is the lead actually died. And here's the thing, you won't know that, okay? The second thing is when the lead tells you to get lost, okay? When they tell you, you need to abide by that. The third reason a lead is dead, and there's no other reason under the sun that a lead would go bad, even if they tell you they have an agent, you guys, okay, is the contact information goes bad, okay? So if for whatever reason you can't communicate with them with your email address anymore because they're no longer there, or it's bouncing or something's wrong. I shouldn't even say bouncing, but you know that the email or phone number is bad. But outside of that, you guys, there's no dead lead, okay? And a lead is, I had leads come out of the woodwork 4 years into this, right? So you've got these awesome videos that you've created, right? And not only can we, get them there because of your video, but now let's talk about retargeting with video.
Okay. So unfortunately, you cannot take the Facebook pixel and put it on your YouTube channel, but you can put it on your website. So it's very important for you to always link to a page on your website from the description box below the video if you want to do any sort of retargeting from there.
Right.
So for instance, if I have a retargeting campaign on Facebook, I created a custom audience of everyone in the last, I think it's 120 days, that has gone to the Moving to Savannah blog post. Then I can create a Facebook ad and say, show it only to the people that have visited the Moving to Savannah blog post that are not real estate agents in the last 30, 60, 90, 120 days, whatever you want it to be. And your Facebook ad might say something like, are you still considering a move to Savannah? Check out what the market is doing now, because our market has gone from a seller's market to a buyer's market. And so I did a video about the market update. Then if they watch the market update video, I can show them another video. So retargeting is huge. And this is not about Facebook ads, but retargeting is huge because that's how you get Facebook ads really, really cheap. Like the cost per lead is super cheap, rather than just showing it to everybody that has an interest of Savannah and the beach and I don't know, Tidy Island, for example,
Right.
that's a cold audience. It's going to cost you more per lead than it will be if you do a video views ad to people that are already familiar with who you are. Not only will it cost you less, but your leads will be more motivated, much better quality, because they already knew who you were in the first place.
And you're branding yourself along the way. So even though they may not be ready, but they're so impressed with how you're educating and providing information along the way. You're not always trying to sell your damn self, because it's always got to be what's in it for them, not what's in it for you.
Absolutely.
You're gonna get the value, right? Once people start to see you, that's when the value comes, right? And so then they're engaging. So the ways to also do that through Pixel is one, through your Pixel, Facebook Pixel. For those of you who don't know all this, this is something that you can get help with everywhere, including us. But you also could upload a list of those names that are signing up through all of your landing pages and your lead magnets as a custom audience. So we're talking communication and contact with your consumers outside of your drip campaigns. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the drip campaign, because I still want to, of course, you're in this group because I believe email is not dead. Texting is not dead, although texting can get overused. And I do want to be sure everyone understands that our goal is to make sure that we keep in front of our consumers long-term over different ways, right? You guys, many of you got here as a result of a messenger bot, a messenger broadcast. That is one way as well, which, God, putting video in messenger bots, oh, that's a whole nother thing. But you got here because I reminded you to come back into this. And then, or you might be getting emails from me soon and continually, and in these groups, you build groups and get people. Like, do you have a group, by the way, on Facebook for Savannah?
I do. Well, no, actually, I have the only groups that I have one group for people that are moving to Savannah that are in the military, and it's called PCSing to Hunter Army Airfield, and that's just to help people that are military. And then I have a group for people that want to start doing more video. That one's called YouTube for Real Estate Agents.
Yeah, girl. Okay. So we know, especially over the just recent couple of days, that groups are going to be huge. So everybody really needs to start focusing on that, because you're maybe noticing it now in your feeds that you're only really seeing what's going on in your groups more than you'll be seeing more of that in almost everything you're doing. So getting groups set up, if you can get people to them, and you do that through all of the stuff that you have, that you join, it's on your blog post, sign up, get into my group kind of thing. So,
and that would be something great for a YouTube video. So when you were talking about picking a niche before, let's say that your niche was going to be a farm area. And let's say that the neighborhood is called Bridge Mill. And you say, I'm going to do a video tour of Bridge Mill, and your call to action at the end would be, do you live in Bridge Mill now? Join my free Facebook group. You've made the Facebook group. You do not go in there spamming the damn group with your listings. Don't do that. People don't like that on Facebook. They want to know, oh, let's have a community yard sale, and my dog is lost, and does anybody want my workout equipment that's been sitting in my garage for the last 2 years not getting used? And then you say, oh, by the way, I'm going to have an open house here on Saturday, and I'm going to have a Kona ice truck out front.
I'm going to let you keep talking. The UPS truck just showed up. Keep going. Sorry. Oh my gosh.
So making a niche for yourself on YouTube, and having the group that they can join, and having the free giveaway, all of that stuff. So when somebody does a Google search for the name of your neighborhood, you are everywhere. And it's so much better to have 50% of a small niche than to have 1% of the entire Phoenix metro area, right? You think that by niching down, you're going to exclude too much business, and it does not work that way. The general public views real estate agents as being interchangeable. They don't see our value. They think all we do is open the doors. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. That's what they think of us, right? So the only way that you can differentiate yourself is to be different. So how can you be different? I specialize in this farm. This is my farm. I live here. I know this thing inside and out. I'm best friends with the president of the HOA, whatever it would be. By being super, super specific on your niche, you are the go-to person for that farm. That does not mean that the guy that wants to buy a house 2 neighborhoods over is not ever going to call you. They will still call you because they see that you have this huge social media presence, but they will be more likely to call somebody that is super specific. And it can either be specific to a geographic area. It could be specific to a type of buyer. My niche is military that is relocating into Savannah and out of Savannah, and the general public that is relocating to Savannah. Like, I'm a relocation expert. That is my niche. It could be people with dogs. It could be first-time buyers. It could be millennials. Your niche can be whatever you want it to be, but pick your niche and then go for it and go big. And like Patti said, if you can make a Facebook group that will take off, that'd be a killer thing.
Right. Okay, cool. Thank you for that. Sorry, I don't know what's going on out there with the YouTube.
No worries. I just kept talking until you came back.
We're good at that.
I can talk like nobody's business.
I know. So let's start. Okay, so now we've got people in our CRM, in LionDesk or wherever our CRM is. In this group, people are using different tools. And so we have to be able to plug the video back in. So even if we don't have a tool like LionDesk that you can actually import the video in and send something out, you can still do it within an email, right? And have you ever done that where you did a thumbnail and then you hyperlink your videos out through a video?
Yes.
Email?
Yeah. In fact, I created it in MailChimp. I wanted MailChimp because it's free and because the formatting, like you can do HTML formatting and make it really pretty. I hired a virtual assistant to do it for like $25. She made me the template. So it looked beautiful. It had all my contact information and my logo. And then all I had to do was go to YouTube and copy the URL and embed it in the video. So for every lead I get, when I call them and say, hey, I saw that you went to the Moving to Savannah blog post, or you know, they call me, oh, I found your YouTube channel. I've been watching all of your videos. We're moving to Savannah at the end of the summer. Once they tell me what their time frame is, I manually add them to a specific drip campaign. And I have one that's called Moving to Savannah, 12 months and out. I have one that's like under 6 months. And depending on what their time frame is, I add them to the appropriate campaign. And I just do that while I'm on the phone talking to them.
Right.
So
okay.
it doesn't go automatically because I'm waiting to find out what their time frame is.
In that case, yeah. So, but I think if you have a general campaign to manage, you know, if you're to manage your leads coming in from your videos, that at least you can get that going, because most cases are going to be buyers, I would imagine, but the sellers too will work. Actually, I love this for selling, because you should be focusing strictly in your niches that you want to sell, maybe your subdivisions, and you start just being the one that everybody sees all the time.
Right.
So, all right, so, but you can automate it and then have something good on it, and then you can switch them once you talk to them. And if you don't, hopefully they'll reach out and say, that's not really what I want something else.
Right.
Okay, so if we were to add some content.
Can I go back to that 1 second?
Yeah.
So the campaign that I do for people that are moving to the area, it's like, hey, I'm so glad that you're interested in moving to Savannah. Next month is the Beach Bum Parade. Watch this video. I do not say, are you looking to buy? Are you pre-approved yet? Can I help hook you up with a lender? I am not doing that shit. I am saying, here's something that might be of interest to you. And when they click it and watch the video, I get more FaceTime with them. After they've watched several of those videos, when they call you and say, we're finally ready to buy a house, we're moving, we're coming there next Thursday, will you help us? Like, they've already decided to hire you because they feel like they know you from the video.
Right, and
so
that's where I was going.
Make these videos and not be salesy, just be helpful. You'll be amazed at what a huge transformation your business will make.
And that's exactly what I was going to ask you, because we do want to put something in there. Okay, so that's perfect. And how long are these in the emails?
The videos that I make are typically around 3, 4, or 5 minutes.
In an email?
Well, they're on YouTube, and all I'm doing is linking to the video on YouTube.
Okay, so if you are using LionDesk, then there's a 2-minute max, I think, on an email, and there's like a 15 to 20 second max on a text, because you can still send text video as well.
Right.
So,
Although
right.
the videos that I'm putting in this newsletter for the email campaign are not the ones that I recorded in Lion Desk, which is basically just I'm talking to the camera like this. It's the actual YouTube video.
Yeah, and so that's good because you're driving people back over to your page. Are you
Right.
always asking people to subscribe to your pages on your videos
Always.
too? Always. Make
Always.
sure and
So
remind people
a
about that.
lot of people, especially like the baby boomers, they're all on YouTube and they don't know that they're supposed to subscribe to your channel. So you
Yeah.
say, if you're interested in all things Savannah, and this is your first time here, you should really click that link right there and hit that little bell so that every time I make a new video, you'll be notified. And then they go, oh, okay. But if you don't tell them to do that, they don't
They won't think
inherently
about it.
know.
I know. It took me forever I mean, I've got a lot of videos out there and I was just doing it to help people out. And then later I'm like, I'm an idiot. I should have said this. I mean,
No,
dumb.
none of us know any of this stuff at the beginning. You learn it as you go.
You definitely do. And I think, when I'm listening to you, kind of act out what it is that you would do in your video, it totally is practicing. And I don't even want to say
Yes.
practice makes perfect because you're never going to be perfect. And if you are, nobody's going to be interested in you. When we first started doing more videos and a lot of the lenders around here were providing green screens for us to go in and stand there with pre-typed in script. And oh my God. No, I mean, that's exactly what you were saying earlier about.
Hi, I'm Joe. I am a loan officer. And then it's got some ridiculous, I hate green screens.
Well, they're offering people to do that stuff.
I know there are, but you don't want it to look like a commercial. People do not go on YouTube to watch commercials. They skip them. They do not go on there intending to buy something. They go on there because they want to find something out. So help them find what they wanted to learn, and they will be indebted to you, and they will call you when they're ready to sell their house or buy their house because you're the only one that was not salesy.
Let me ask you too, if you were to put a video in, okay, let's say, I know you said you were doing it in your newsletter, but if you put a video in an email or a text, are you introducing yourself in some content text instead of just having either you put like a thumbnail there and no explanation about what this video is about? I mean, I've seen that a lot. I like to say, hey, thanks so much for blah, blah, blah. Hey, I got a quick video message for you. It's short.
That's what I say too.
Yeah. Okay. Introduce it instead of just slapping this thumbnail in there and expecting them to click on it, because why should they if they don't know what the hell and your subject line within your email should really kind of identify what it is you're trying to tell them as well. So they have a reason to want to open it up. I mean, we're so bad. No one's going to write you back if you don't have decent, subject lines to explain.
Right. You know who Bomb Bomb is, right? Bomb Bomb. Okay. So they had a free PDF that you downloaded of how to get people to open your emails. And I downloaded that, probably 2 years ago. But they said, have a little whiteboard and write, hi, Yolanda. And then, and you go. So
this is great for a thumbnail, right? Great for a thumbnail, right? If you're going to do
email and you see that, you're like, oh my God, she's talking to me. So they press play. And in the subject line, it says video. Hi, Yolanda. And so it's got their name and the word video in the subject line. They're much, much more likely to open that email.
Right. So you would have, your options within Lion Desk or if you have tools to do this, which BombBomb, by the way, is a third-party emailing software tool that you can actually do much more, longer videos and more. If you want to spend the money, it's like $100 plus and whatever. But so in the video emailing though, you could set up preset video templates, email templates and text templates in your drip campaigns, right? So that are specific to what it is you're trying to promote. So if it's Savannah suburbs, you have a video preset. Hey, I know you asked about Savannah suburbs in the past. I'm just checking in. Did you ever buy a home in Savannah or in the suburbs? Are you still looking in the suburbs? Tell me where you're at with this, because I want to help you out. And it's short and sweet like that. But it's a template, so you're not actually specific to Carol. But then when Carol says, yes, I'm still looking, now you go, Carol, you send back another video, right, that is specific to Carol,
Yep.
So that way you're starting this conversation, right? They're starting to get to know you. On top of that, they're seeing you in their Facebook feeds and their Instagram feeds to the point where they're just so overwhelmed they'd be crazy not to use you when they're ready to go. right? So that's the key, right? We need to be there when they're ready to go. All right, we're going to wrap this up. So what I want to do, I actually created this. I'll post it here, but I created this quick list, and I actually just copied it off of somebody's website, and I'm giving them the credentials, just so you guys know. But just a quickie, so that you've got ideas. I'll just share really quick here on my screen so you can see it. So you've got ideas on. Let's see, ideas for drip mail video. I just literally did this morning because I actually did a video or did a training on this not that long ago and had this list, and I just went in and found this more extensive list of ideas of things that you could think about that you could do. So I'm gonna put this in here for you guys to get, and you can get it, and then I'm gonna make sure that Karin's information's in here too so you can get it. So we just got a few more minutes. So Karin, you got so good at this, right, that I'm going to say right, I don't know if you believe you did, but I'm impressed that I want to know, I'm going to stop the share now. I want to know is there something you can do to help people that need like the blog post help, the Canva screen help, the editing help, the idea help, the whatever kind of help, because we're struggling, right? So do you have something, what do you got that you can help us out with?
If you are a do-it-yourselfer, I have a YouTube channel where I started putting tutorials up for agents. You are welcome to go watch all those tutorials, and that's youtube.com/Karin Carr.
Okay.
If you are somebody that wants like step-by-step instruction, I put together an entire course. It's called YouTube for Agents, because I probably get 10 to 20 phone calls a week from agents saying, teach me how to do this. And I've been fortunate to speak at a whole bunch of events. I'm going to BombBomb's Rehumanize events next week in Denver, talking about how YouTube is the greatest pay-per-click that you don't have to pay for that nobody is using. And so, and I'm doing a 5-day challenge starting on May 13th. So if you want to overhaul your YouTube channel, you could take the 5-day challenge and like, on day 1, we're going to do this. And on day 2, we're going to do this. And on day 3, we're going to do this, just to kind of get your YouTube channel off the ground in the right way. But seriously, the #1 thing is to quit being so freaking salesy. Can I show you a really funny video that I did last week where I did a parody?
I would love that. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to share this because how many videos have you guys seen where the agent drives up in his Lamborghini and it's in super slow-mo, and the chick gets out of the car in her very short skirt, and it just seems like the whole video is all about how great the agent is rather than the house that they're trying to sell. So I did this parody. Oh, I'm sorry. I got to wait 5 seconds to be able to skip this. Yeah. I did this parody.
I've been a real estate agent for 14 years.
Oh, I saw this.
I've sold more than $50 million worth of properties. I have so many designations, I can't even remember what they all are.
And then my idea was that I was going to get out of the car looking all full of myself, and then I was going to pretend to trip and fall down. And what happened was I actually tripped and fell down, and I went flat on my face in my driveway. And my husband caught the whole thing on camera because he was being my videographer that day. Like, all of these are just, I'm filming this on my phone. My husband was my cameraman that day. So here's the part where I drive up. Aren't you so impressed when I drive up in my fancy European SUV? And then here's the epic fail. And so I skipped it and I put it in at the very end. And it was like,
my God.
So join us and have a good laugh. Bam.
Oh, did you hit your face?
Oh my God. That hurt so bad. But because we caught it on film, by God, I was not going to not use it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I published that last Monday. It's already had 535 views on YouTube. It's had something like 2,000 views on Facebook, just because it's funny. At least I think it's funny. And the people who watch that and like it are going to be people that have a sense of humor. And that's who I'm trying to attract with my YouTube channel. I like working with people that are joking and laughing and they talk with their hands and they're not, complete introverted type C person or type A personalities. I'm trying to attract people that are lighthearted and want to have fun and they don't take themselves too seriously. So when I show my personality in a video, those are the type of people that I attract. So you don't have to be a comedian. You do not have to try to be something you're not. But when you show your own true personality on camera, you will attract people that not only like that about you and they want to be your friend, but they're like that too. So it's so great to be yourself on camera. And that's why the green screen and the script sucks, because you're not being yourself. You are totally being a character. And people don't want to see a character who's trying to sell them stuff. They want to see you making a fool of yourself. And if you have a blooper reel at the end and they think that's funny, more power to you.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to give a shout out to Chris Thiel too, because Chris,
oh my God, Chris is awesome.
He's like another one. And I've had Chris on, actually, I think Chris has been on stuff before. He's awesome. He's the same way. I mean, he's so good at this stuff. He does this thing where he dances in an open house, and that one I love. He's a dancer like you and I are singers. He's a dancer. We ought to do a singing one of these days.
That'd be funny. And people will say, well, I'm not that extroverted and I don't have that much of a personality, and you have a stage experience, so you're good on camera. Hey, listen, it did not come just because I majored in music. It came because I've made 250 videos in the last 2 years.
True.
That's how you get better at doing it.
Practice. Let's get through the questions here. So let's see. Hey, Michelle, how are you? Our friend Michelle B, who connected us. Hey, Michelle. What's the app that you said you use for videos? Oh, that was, you were using on the Mac, you were using.
I started with iMovie. Now I've graduated to Final Cut Pro, and you said Camtasia, right?
No, I actually said
Screencast-O-Matic.
Yeah, Screencast-O-Matic. Yeah, but I think Camtasia works too. Nettie says, I have several YouTube channels. Is there a way to combine all the videos into one? That's a good question.
Not really. You can download the video and then upload it into the new channel, and you'll start all over again with the views, but you will be penalized for duplicate content. So then you got to go delete the first one.
Oh, that's good to know, because I did that. Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to have an exact duplicate video. You could share it from the first one in there by like making a playlist and adding that video to the playlist over here. So it still resides in this channel. It's just being shared on yours.
Right.
But if you really want it to live on that channel, download it, upload it, delete it.
And you have to start over. Well, I had that issue because when I first started doing this, I did a training video on how to use LineDesk on my own real estate site so that I could teach my agents. I didn't have a YouTube channel for my current consulting business.
Okay.
So a lot of the views on how to use LineDesk are on that channel still, and I'm not going to take it down. And I still get calls directly through my real estate phone number from agents wanting help. So
same exact situation here. And I did the same thing as I made a playlist on the new channel and I shared it over there, but I didn't delete it from the first one because the first one's had like 38,000 views.
Yeah. Okay. Janet says, is there a way to bring the people who are fans of your page over to a group you create? Can you just change a page into a group? Okay. Well, the whole idea about group building, we're not going to get into today, but
yes. I don't think you can do that. I think you can invite them, but you can't just say, congratulations, you're now in this group.
No, you can't do it automatically. You just invite them over. Exactly. Yeah. Many of you got here, by the way, as a result of my videos that I have and my inviting you into my groups, which I have realized that it works better for you to come in and just like we're doing now, you know, to be able to put a face to the name and the name to the face when they hear about you over and over again. And now it's like they're starting to learn more about you because you are on video and you're doing live trainings and doing live education. If you're a realtor and you want to educate like Karen's doing about the area, I mean, there's just so much power in that. So people will want to be part of your tribe in your group because they don't want to miss anything, right? Yeah. So we need that. Richard says, do you recommend having more than one website to use? Don't know.
Why would you? So like here's, if you, for my consulting business, yes, it's a different website. It's youtubeforagents.com. Right. For my real estate business, it's georgiacoasthomes.com. I would not have multiple websites. Like I would put everything on your main real estate website. And as long as you can create landing pages on that website. If you can't create landing pages, that's a different issue, because you want to have landing pages where they have to put in their information to get the free thing that you're offering.
Right.
And if your website doesn't have that functionality, you need a new website.
Yeah, you do. So I'm going to put, you guys can get a hold of me. I'll give you contact info to get a hold of me about my recommendations for websites too. What's the name of Karin's video course again? Let's say it out loud, girlfriend.
It is YouTubeforagents.com. And it's just YouTube for Agents. And if you go to the website, it's got all the information on there of how you can get on it. But what it is I basically teach you, this is the equipment that you need. This is how you set up your YouTube channel. This is how you film. This is how you edit. This is how you upload it. This is how you optimize it. This is how you promote it. It's kind of like everything that I do start to finish. Is it time consuming? Yes, I'm not going to lie. I spend probably 4 hours a week I make one video a week, and it takes me about 4 hours to do all of that stuff and then get it up on YouTube. But that 4 hours will pay me back 20 times over in no time.
Right.
Because I will get leads in the middle of the night. I wake up and I have emails saying, we found your YouTube channel, we want to hire you. I get come list me phone calls where they don't even interview anybody else. They've already decided to hire me.
Oh my gosh.
So imagine door knocking for 4 hours. When you're done and you get in the car, you're done. That's it. There's no more lead gen going on. If you spend 4 hours making a video and 2 years from now, that video has 6,000 views and people hire you and you're making money over and over again. I moved to Savannah 2 years ago. I just started doing videos when I moved to Savannah with any sort of regularity.
2 years, right.
And in 2 years, I now have a team of agents because I can't handle all the business myself.
Oh, that's a bad problem to have. I feel so bad for you. Well, here's what I'm going to also say about the stuff is that between the video and what you can do to drive people back to your website using your drip campaigns, I got on the first page of Google in 4 months with my drip campaigns, and I had no video in mind. So the combination, in 4 months, and I'm still there for my 3 niches that I focus on in North Phoenix. Just go run a search yourself, North Phoenix Luxury Homes. So the combination between the video and your drip campaign and your good website that you can actually put tags and, you know, you don't have to be an SEO specialist for this, you guys. This is not, you know, rocket science necessarily. You do have to practice. Ellen asked a question that I think we answered is how are we capturing the emails and delivering? Well, you're capturing through those pages on your site. You could also use your listing to leads landing page if you're going to offer up listings. If you guys, a lot of you have listing to leads, ways to capture names. You need to do that. You need to get the information dumped right into your CRM. In our case, we're using LionDesk. You have the campaign ready to go. You have a source that is specific to your different ads that you're running or different campaigns. So in Karin's case, she's got a lot of videos. She may have 10 different campaigns for each one of those. That just depends on what she feels she needs to do. In my case, the same thing. If you're running ads, every ad you run needs its own campaign. So if you're going to plug some video into that, those videos are specific to that. Our problem is that we're tapping in to these pre-made crappy ass, and I'm going to get nasty about it, drip campaigns that are built in these systems that are not engaging and driving people back to look at what they signed up to get from you, right? So you've got to not just do it once, but keep doing it, right? Education through the videos and listings that are specific to what they signed up to get, because really that's all they care about. They're not going to care about you until they're ready. You know, and who knows how long that's going to take. Okay. All right, I think, how do we get your list, Patti? I'm going to put it in the post down here. I'm just getting, I literally just threw it together. Well, Rylopo, I'm going to tell you right now, I got 90 leads in 2 weeks, just so you know, from Rylopo. And it is a numbers game. You're going to need to, but, you know.
What is Rylopo?
Rylopo is a real estate website company that provides not just IDX and listing information. You can go and build pages, but you can also have them do your advertising. And so far, I've been incredibly impressed. In 2 weeks, I've gotten a shit ton of leads, and we are already like getting people pre-qualified. So if you, I have a discount for people to get set up. So you can put your question mark in there all you want, Mike, but I'm telling you, it was working for us right now. I'm in the Phoenix market though, so I don't know if this could be different. Just saying, there's different ways, you know, but I got a discount code for discount for anybody interested in the Rylopo site. All right, anything else that you want to follow up with? Contacting you, would be through getting into your Facebook group and or going over to your page, your YouTube page. I mean, if they can't find you after all
Seriously,
of this video.
If you Google my name, and as long as you spell it correctly, you will find me.
Karin.
Karin, yes.
Yeah, it's Patti with an I, same thing. We got a lot in common,
We do.
All right, well, we're going to wrap this up. This will stay live in the group, so anybody who's in here and wants to come back and check it out, we'll keep it here in the group. And we're really excited that you guys stopped by, and hopefully
yes, thank you for coming, everybody.
Karin, thank you for joining us today.
It was fun. Thank you. I love to geek out on this YouTube stuff, so anytime.
Oh, we're excited. We're excited. And you guys tap into everything. By the way, I am getting the Jumpstart. I did mention in the group I'm going to be doing a Jumpstart training for Lion Desk. It's going to help you re-engage some old leads. Maybe we'll plug in a few videos and talk to you about that in there too. But I'll be posting a link here in the group for you to sign up for the Jumpstart. It's going to be 2 hours over 2 days, so that you're not going to be sitting there and glassing over. Okay, so keep an eye out for that, because I hope to get that link in there today so that you can sign up for it. It will be, I think I'm going to try to schedule it for next week, the first hour. Okay, anything else?
I think we're good.
We're good. All right, Karin, thank you again. I really appreciate it. And we'll touch base with you again in the future and see how well you're doing with everything. So.
Oh, thank you. All right.
Have a great one, everyone.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.